Lai Mohammed PHOTO, NANThe scenario is dramatically enticing. The PDP had wanted to say to Nigerians that it had sinned in the past and come short of their glory. It paid the ultimate price by losing the presidency it controlled for 16 years to a rainbow coalition that was only 2 years old in the trenches. The PDP thought that if it apologized for its trespasses we would simply give it a slap on the wrist or just a pinch on its cheeks or pull its ears gently and tell it to go and sin no more. In the manner of the prodigal son that had asked for forgiveness, it thought we would forgive it. This was not really an act of true penitence or a sincere quest for forgiveness, or a self-purification endeavor. It came after the murmurings in the country and the offensive by some heavyweights against both the PDP and APC as far as the 2019 battle is concerned. The PDP thought if it apologized and asked for forgiveness, that act of mortification may brighten its chances in 2019. It wasn't a mistake to apologize because, in truth, we lived in horrid times for most of those 16 years. And the horrid times have not abated since we had new masters in May 2015. In fact, the times have become more horrid, our lives have become more devalued, and we are looking lost like a nation that is sleepwalking. The PDP made the mistake of calling on the APC government, which had harped interminably on the alleged looting Olympics of the PDP government, to name the looters in the PDP. In quick succession, the Minister of Information, who is a lawyer and also the uncrowned Sultan of Spin, Mr. Lai Mohammed, shot 2 blacklists into the public space. These, he claimed, were the looters. Since I have no money set aside for a defamation battle, I will refrain from calling them looters or even mentioning them by name. From my little experience in these matters and judging from the fact that our legal system considers every accused person innocent until convicted, these fellows are simply accused persons. Lai Mohammed has no business calling accused persons looters because no court has pronounced them as such, except he has decided to invest himself with the portfolios of accuser, prosecutor and judge. The only other persons apart from the convicted who can be categorized as looters are those who have benefited from self-conviction by willingly surrendering what they had grabbed. Even those whose cases have been investigated by the EFCC still deserve to have their day in court. I am a staunch supporter, of the anti-corruption campaign of the federal government. At the same time, we must support the rights of accused persons to be treated as innocent until a court of competent jurisdiction convicts them. The EFCC also has a right, I believe, to release information to the media on verified cases of alleged looters, but it must be made known that those persons are not convicts by any stretch of the word. Corruption must be fought both with proper information management and legal adjudication. Some of those whose names have been banned around in the press as looters feel tried and convicted by the media before they appear in court. In a democracy, it would be wrong for the press to shy away from reporting issues of public interest to the people. Such issues as corruption, an endemic disease in our country, eminently deserves the attention it is getting from the media. The cases are not decided on the pages of newspapers but in the courtrooms where the lawyers on both sides do their duties and the man or woman in the middle takes the decision according to the law. No judge decides a case based on what the newspapers write, so the charge of trial by the media is hereby dismissed. The word looters is a glittering generality that is emotionally charged. The PDP may have felt hurt by it, even though the Lai Mohammed list was quite stale since we had seen those names and faces in the media long before now. Apparently, the PDP felt that it would not sit by while a pot calls a kettle black. A former spokesman for President Goodluck Jonathan, Mr. Remo Omokri, came up with his own encyclopedia of alleged looters in a tit-for-tat game. In the 70s this sort of game was called F.U. Tarka, me, I, will, Daba, you, a reference to the corruption battle between Mr. Joseph Tarka, a minister in Yakubu Gowon's government, and Mr. Godwin Deba, a self-styled anti-corruption crusader. Both Mohammed's and Omokri's lists contain the names of former governors, former and serving senators, serving and former ministers, former security bigwigs and politically exposed persons of varying ranks. Since Omokri's list surfaced, Mohammed's tongue, which is as restless as that of a talk show host, has gone on vacation. I expect the Minister of Information to collate the names from the 3 lists and submit it to the appropriate authorities so that the public will be convinced that there is a holistic, non-discriminatory pursuit of alleged looters. Providing a level playing field for all alleged pilferers from our public purse, having neither friends nor foes, is the only way to gain and retain public confidence in the anti-corruption fight. To give the impression that the corrupt were only in the PDP and there is none in the APC would be self-deception by the ruling party. Also, the ruling party seems to be eager to provide a sanctuary for some PDP members who may not pass the purity test. If that becomes the modus operandi of the APC, it will not smell as saintly as it would want us to believe. But it does appear that everything done now by either of the two parties is geared towards milking some favor from the public in 2019. The APC says it will not stop talking about the PDP's alleged looting of the treasury. Talk is cheap, but Nigerians want action. They want results. They want alleged looters prosecuted speedily and convicted. We are already in the third year of this government,